Hi everyone, I'm Kathy and I'm here to give you some quick tips on how to succeed in your pharmacy job interview. So first I'm going to go through some pre-interview tips and then dive into the types of questions that they'll ask and what you can do to give you that extra edge and what you can do to help you prepare for these interview questions. So you can probably imagine the day of your interview you're going to be extremely stressed out. Your adrenaline's going to be pumping. Your heart's going to be racing, especially right before you walk into your interview. So here are some quick tips on what you can do to reduce any sort of stress that could come up during that day. So don't be late. Go early. When I say early, go 2 to 3 times earlier than you would have left. So say it takes 20 minutes for you to get to that location, leave 40 minutes earlier, leave an hour early. You don't want to be scrambling trying to find the place, those types of things. Another, prepare for your interview. And that's what I'm going to help you with. I'm going to let you know some examples on what types of questions that they ask. So another tip is you want to prepare your clothes the day before. So you don't want to be going around trying to look for your pants or your socks or your blouse and things like that. Have it laid out. So first thing you get up in the morning, do your morning routine and then get dressed and prepped to go. Another thing for girls, if you have long hair, try to keep it where you don't have to constantly be fiddling with it like this. It's very distracting. You want to bring your resume. You want to print out your resume or your CV that you sent. And most managers are not going to read your resume before. I mean, you probably got in because you were recruited or somebody recommended you. So I mean, managers aren't going to be looking at your CV like prepping for you, just for you. Unless of course you're like super outstanding. But most managers don't look at it beforehand. Another one, bring a pen, because you're going to be filling out things. Leave your cell phone in your car. You don't want to have your phone go off. You don't want to have your boyfriend or girlfriend calling when you're interviewing. So leave it in the car so you are focused 100% on your interviewer. Another is read about the company. Read about what their mission statement is, what they care about, what is their vision. So when they ask you, why do you want to work for our company, you have something to go off of, especially if you don't have any insider's information on the company. Okay, so now we're going to dive into the good stuff. So first question, describe a difficult situation and how you handled it. Second question, what was a difficult decision that you had to make and how did you go about handling it and what were some things that were important to you? Leadership positions. Have you had any leadership positions? Have you had any jobs not related to pharmacy? Do you play any sports? Now that threw me off. What they were looking for was, do you work well in teams? So any sports like football, baseball, or any soccer, or anything that you had to work in, play in sport, where you had a lot of teamwork involved in it, would be a really good experience to talk about. Why pharmacy? That's actually one of the most common questions I get is, why did you choose pharmacy? What was your motivation behind pharmacy? And out of all the professions that you have to choose from, why pharmacy? So that's definitely something that you really need to, that question is going to, 99.9% is going to pop up. Tell me about yourself. I know this is a very general question, but a lot of people do ask. Pretty much the first or second question is, tell me about yourself. The next question is, describe a situation where you worked in a team. A lot of times in pharmacy, we all work in teams. We have our technicians, our cashiers, pharmacy interns, and so it's really important that you are a good leader and that you know how to facilitate a team, how to work in a team. Describe a situation where you led a group, and that also applies to leadership and teamwork. Next one is describe an experience where you learned the most, and this could be a non-pharmacy experience. And describe a situation where you disagreed with somebody. Like, for example, they gave you a negative review, or your preceptor didn't like what you did, and how did you go about handling something like that? And another question was, did you have any hardship transitioning from high school to college? I'm like, whoa. I know that's a really interesting question, but I think what they were looking for was, how do you handle changes? And so, 3 things that I want you to take away from this video is, when you go in, before you go into an interview, think about 3 things that you can contribute to the company. So say you have really good leadership skills, you have really good clinical skills, you have really good communication skills, you work really well with people, you're a team player. Think about those things, and think about situations where you were involved, like an example, like a situation where you had to facilitate those skills, and your theory behind it, and your purpose behind it. So basically, think about 3 things, and what you basically 3 things that you can really contribute to the company, and tied in with your experiences. So, thank you for listening, and let me know how you do. Take care.